The VAR Show. The one place for your weekly football update.
Hola, very warm welcome to the VAR show, the show which talks about all the various major football leagues in detail. Today we are continuing the theme of interviews, and we have a very influential figure in terms of European football and the culture and the trend he has brought with himself. So we have the throw-in coach of Liverpool FC, Mr. Thomas Grønnemark with us. For those of you who do not know Liverpool FC, you need to seriously reconsider your footballing knowledge. But still I'll say you, they are the current European champions and they play in England. So that's all. If you do not know Liverpool, go and check it up. And if you do not know, I don't know, I'll not say anything to you. So as for Mr. Thomas Grønnemark, he is a former Danish athlete and currently works as a throw-in coach for a number of professional football teams, which includes Liverpool FC, of course. He held the Guinness World Record in the Guinness Book of World Records for the longest throw-in and was a member of the Danish bobsled team for 4 years. So without wasting much time, I would like to thank Mr. Thomas Grønnemark for coming on the show. Thank you and welcome to the show, Thomas. And my first question for you is, how are you and what are you doing during this pandemic period?
Yeah, thank you. I'm fine here. I'm living in Denmark. Yeah, I'm coaching a lot of clubs all around the world, and Liverpool FC and Ajax, Atlanta United from the States, and many other clubs. And at the moment there's not been playing any football, so I'm just at home here in Denmark. I'm doing like some online coaching for a few players. So like they send me videos, I send them videos back, I talk with them, and but I've been using more time on my new homepage. I have a new homepage called thomasgrønnemark.com, and I'm also writing on my new throw-in book about the long, the fast, and the clever throw-in. So even though I'm not coaching the clubs right now, I'm pretty busy.
Okay. So my first question, although it's technically the second question. So the question I would like to ask you is, how did you associate yourself maybe to throw in, like as a coach?
Yeah, I've been playing football myself for many years, like for 15 years, not as a professional, but as a youth player. And I was in the best youth league in Denmark. And I also played against good players, for example, like Thomas Gravesen, who later played for Real Madrid. That was like 15, 20 years ago. And but I was not good enough to be a professional football player. So then I went to athletics because I was very fast. And I came on the Danish national team in athletics, running 100, 200, 400 meters, and also relays. And it was really good because I was several time Danish champion. Also in 2000 in Paris, me and my team from Aarhus 1900, that was my club team, we won the European Championship in 4x400 meter relay. So it was pretty successful. But in 2002, I've been moving to a smaller city in Denmark, here in the western part of Denmark. And it was because I met my wife, and sometimes you do special things because of love. But suddenly I was training alone, and I wanted to have a team sport because I've always been a little bit social. So in 2002, I went to the Danish bobsleigh national team. And for those of you who don't know bobsleigh, that's a winter sport where you are driving down a track with like 130 to 150 kilometers per hour. So it's like a crazy sport. But I was at the Danish national bobsleigh team for 4 years, and our goal was to go to the Winter Olympics in Turin in 2006. And it was in the middle of that period, bobsleigh period, in 2004, I thought, hey, if I can make a good throw-in as a football player, can't I teach other players to do it? So I went down to my local library in my hometown when I came home from the bobsleigh tour and tried to find a book about the throw-ins. But there was no book at all, so I have to make a throw-in course myself with video analysis and everything. And then in the fall 2004, I had my throw-in course. Then I just needed a team. and it could have been a youth team or amateur team, but I had the courage to ask a local Superliga team in Denmark. That's the best league in Denmark, and the team is called Viborg FF, and they said yes, and it was a big success. They scored a lot of goals after throw-in, and the year after, in the 5-6 season, it was FC Midtjylland in Denmark. That's an even better Super League team. And since then, I've been coaching a lot of professional teams. And of course, the big breakthrough came in July 2018, where Jurgen Klopp called me.
So the next question is from Mr. Ashish Khatiwara. Okay, so he asks us, is throwing an art that took long time to be noticed, or is it a result of innovation in modern football?
No, it took really long time to be noticed, because the football sport is 140 years older. So, and when I was starting as a throwing coach in 2004, and I'll say I'm still the only throwing coach in the world, so that's also really totally wild. So, but when I started the first years, it was only the long throw-in, to score goals on throw-ins. But after a few years, I saw that most teams are losing the ball all the time. So when they have a throw-in also in the middle of the pitch or at your own penalty area. So 10, 12 years ago, I made the throw-in philosophy called the long, the fast and the clever throw-in. And that's throw-ins all over the pitch. So for me, it's also innovating football, because there are no other throwing coaches in the world, but a lot of coaches and managers and analysis people and so are having my knowledge and trying to be better and writing about throw-ins now. So I think that my work in the big clubs, especially the big clubs like Liverpool and Ajax and Ghent from Belgium, and so it has influenced the football game, but I think that when I'm publishing my book about throw-ins, it will also influence the whole football world, because then I can also give my knowledge to the amateur coaches and the youth coaches, and so also in Nepal. I think it's fantastic to work with the throw-ins.
So you have basically been, one of the major person who has laid down the foundation of throw-in coaches. The only other person I knew who was so much into throwing was Rory Delap, back when he used to throw for Stoke City. So we as fans and spectators only see the surface of the journey of what you have gone through. How has the journey been, starting out, how you said, in a small city or a village in Denmark, to now working with maybe the world champions right now, Liverpool?
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's been like a dream come true. Like one of the best examples is that perhaps you all know, also listeners out there, when you're dreaming about something really nice, it could be like women, or if you're a woman, a man, or who you love, and then suddenly you wake up in the morning and then you think, oh, it was only a dream, and then you're really oh, only a dream. And I had the same thing the first 2 or 3 weeks after I started in Liverpool. I was dreaming that I was coaching Liverpool FC, and then I woke up in the morning and then I thought, oh, it's only a dream. And then I thought, hey, it's real. So it was just messing my brain up. So this whole adventure coming from, of course, I've been experiencing a lot of fantastic things in athletics and bobsleighing and everything, but to work with, be Champions League winners together with Liverpool FC and world club champions, and hopefully we'll get the Premier League this season. Let's see how it ends. So it's just been a fantastic journey. I'm traveling all over the world, everywhere to the States, and been to Qatar, all over Europe. So it's really, it's fantastic. So right now I'm in a position where you can say it's not only me right now, because it's fantastic for me, but right now I think I'm in a position where I can change football, not only for the coaches and the managers, but also for the players, but also for the fans, because I want to. Right now the throw-ins are just so bad in football. Most teams are losing the ball all the time, and we're used to in football that throw-ins are just bad. But why should something be bad? Why not good? So that's what I've worked with in Liverpool. Instead, we want to see a throw-in and then think, oh, that was a fantastic move, how they created space there, or so. So that's my goal to help coaches, players be better, and fans to be more entertained when they see football. So that's my biggest dream.
How did Liverpool happen? I just want to ask, like, were you shocked when you received a call or something?
Yeah, that was right. Yeah. It was like in the start of July 2018, and I was like visiting a chocolate shop with my family. I have a wife and 2 kids, and my phone was like turned off, and then just before we went in, I looked at the phone, and I could see that there was a +44 number been calling, and that's like the country code from England. And if you have a company like me, there are a lot of people who are calling you. So I thought, it's just someone, I don't know who. But then I listened to the voicemail, and then it was Jurgen Klopp. And my big dream has always been to coach in the Premier League, and especially Liverpool, because I always really liked Liverpool. But then I tried to call Jurgen Klopp, but he didn't answer the phone. So I just thought, after the chocolate shop, I just have to drive home to my own home to take perhaps the most important call in my life. And then I was like driving the car, my wife sitting beside me, the kids in the back. And then suddenly the phone rang, and then my wife took the phone up. Then she said, "It's Jurgen." And then I just took the car and then drove directly to the right into a grass field. I took the phone, and then it was Jurgen Klopp, and he said, "We had a fantastic season in 2017-18 season, but with a 4th place in the Premier League and Champions League final. But we lost the ball almost every time we had a throw-in." And so he invited me to Melwood, the Liverpool's training ground, the week after. And the reason why he called me was he'd been reading an article about me in the German newspaper Bild. So I went to the meeting a week after at Melwood, and it should only have been a meeting, but Jurgen Klopp was so satisfied that already the day after the meeting, I had the chance to coach 21 Premier League players. That was all the players who weren't injured or who weren't at vacation after the World Cup. So since July 2018, I've been coaching Liverpool FC in the long, fast, and clever throw-ins, and they have really improved the throw-ins, and of course, like 2 fantastic seasons with, of course, again, winning the Champions League, but also we only lost twice in 2 seasons. I think that's like totally crazy. So I'm just really, really happy to not only work for Liverpool FC, but also all the other top clubs I work for. It's like it's a fantastic job to have.
So this is of course the obvious question that I'm going to ask, and anyone would ask, how is it working with Jurgen Klopp?
Oh, he's a fantastic manager. He's like totally professional. He's like totally high performance, but he's also very kind. He's very funny, and he's really helping. He's really helping the staff and players to help each other. So it's not like I have to be good in Liverpool. It's more like we have to be good. So people are very open-minded. People are helping each other, giving each other knowledge. So even though you also look at the team, there's a lot of top stars at Liverpool, really like individuals, but it's not like big egos. Not in the way that it's only themselves. So in Liverpool match, you always see like if we've been playing 88 minutes and we need a goal, it's not like 8 guys who are pressing, it's like 11 guys, and even guys on the bench who are really like, so that's the spirit in Liverpool. And then Jurgen Klopp himself, he's really open-minded, because he could also have said that, okay, I tried something with the throw-ins, I know what to do, and listen here, Thomas, you just have to do almost like me, just put a little bit of your own flavor in it. No, Jurgen Klopp said, I trust you. I trust your knowledge. I think you're an expert. So in Liverpool, I can do whatever I want. Of course, I'm speaking with Jurgen, speaking with the other coaches, also the players, of course. But But Jurgen is really open-minded, and that's the thing about innovation. A lot of people think that innovation is only about creativity and fantasy ideas, but innovation for me is also that you are listening, that you are open-minded, that you have patience. So yeah, that's the thing Jurgen has. So he's a fantastic person, a fantastic manager.
So one major person, at least who has been highlighted as a massive improvement after working with you, is Joe Gomez, especially with England. Like it was a massive, like the media went all wow and all. So how is it working with him and the Liverpool players? Like, are they do they readily take in the idea of throw-in, since it's a relatively new concept in this, like in the footballing culture, like to have a throw-in coach?
Yeah, I think that they take it in, the players, because I told them in the first training session there are normally between 40 and 60 throw-ins in a match, and most teams have possession in under 50% of the circumstances. And if you had the same with your feet, you'll only play Sunday league football. So, and also said to them, I'm not going to make you to Stoke number 2. So it's not about Liverpool taking a lot of long throw-ins. So I think the players are really like motivated. And then I'll also say, yes, Joe Gomez has really improved his throw-in, long throw-in. He's also been like, he made that assist in the match England against Croatia with the long throw-in. But the most important thing in Liverpool is not the long throw-in. It's more like what I call the fast and clever throw-ins. That's how we keep possession on throw-ins, how we create chances and score goals. And for example, in the season before I came, in the 17-18 season, Liverpool had a possession on 45.4% on throw-ins under pressure. And throw-ins under pressure are where the players are marked. It's not the easy throw-ins where the opponent is standing 30 meters away. But with 45.4%, Liverpool were number 18 out of 20 in the Premier League, third last. But in my first season, the 18-19 season, we improved to 68.4%, so up with 23% points, and we went from number 18 in the Premier League to number 1 in the Premier League. And it's pretty simple. With a throw-in, if you keep the ball, you have control. If you lose the ball, you're often caught out of balance, then the opponents can score. And again, if you keep the ball, you can create chances to score goals. And for example, in this season, the 19-20 season, we have scored in Liverpool 13 goals after throw-in situations all over the pitch. It's not the long throw-in towards the opponent's goal, but it's throw-ins in all over the pitch. So I'm working with this long, fast and clever throw-in philosophy. I'm working with 3 different zones and then approximately 40 to 50 different throw-in tools. So I'm learning the players to have a better throw-in intelligence. So the players also can decide when they'll use these tools, also use their own creativity and fantasy. So that's what I'm working with in Liverpool.
So the next question has come from Joel. Okay, he's one of my friends, and he's also pursuing a coaching career. Okay, so he has asked me, like, to ask you, speaking of throw-ins, like, do you create your own sessions for throw-ins, or is it just the throwing techniques?
No, no. Of course, in the start, especially, I'm coaching the throw-in technique with the players. Because if you throw longer, then you also have a greater throw-in area. And if you have a greater throw-in area, you can throw to more teammates. So I'm coaching that in every club. But most of my time, I'm using that for like the thing I call the fast and the clever throw-ins. And that's, for example, the fast throw-in, that's a little bit like, how do we mark our opponents fast when they have a throw-in? But the fast throw-in is also, when should we throw fast when we have a throw-in? But also, when should we wait? Because sometimes it's really good to throw fast, and other times it's really good. Sometimes it's really bad to throw fast, because if you're throwing the ball into a pressure zone, it's not good. And then the fast throw-in is also counter-attack throw-ins. You can't be offside on a throw-in, so it can not every time, but sometimes it can give good opportunities. But it's even better if you know where to run and how to run with this counter-attack throw-in. So that I'm doing a lot of drills with the players there. And then it's also the clever throw-ins. That's all about how to create space. in the three different zones. And as I said before, I have like 40, 50 throw-in tools, like 12, 15 tools in every zone. So if we are trying to create space, let's say we have a throw-in the middle of the pitch. If we try to create space in the near area, if it doesn't work, then we know it will open up like 2 or 3 or 4 other opportunities. So that's also why you sometimes see Liverpool waiting like 8, 10, 12 seconds to do the throw-in. It's not because we don't know what to do. It's more like we're opening up other opportunities. And the way we're coaching that is, of course, I'm doing that with a lot of drills. But it's not only the fullbacks. Of course, sometimes I'm only coaching the fullbacks, like 4, 5, 6 players. But most of the times it's all the players, because if you see a Liverpool match, it's often like 6, 7 or 8 players who are taking the throw-ins, because sometimes it's better that Mohamed Salah is taking the throw-in if he's the first to get it. But if he's not educated in the throw-in philosophy, and so then he might be taking a bad throw-in, or might be making a bad choice. And the way I educate the players is, for example, in training, I'm perhaps doing 2 groups of 9. Then it could be like with 1 thrower and then 4 against 4, or with a secret thrower. We don't know who to throw. And then I do take them for 20, 25 minutes. And after that, it could be the next group with the same exercise. It could also be like a 5 versus 5 interval game with narrow pitch with 2 big goals and 2 goalkeepers. And then there's a lot of throw-ins, and then we're doing the things we've learned with the throw-in tools. It could also be like 11 versus 11 full match intensity, and then we are like taking 15 or 20 throw-ins and then play on from that. So again, trying to use the throw-in tools we've done in training. So I'm building like my exercise and drills up by step. First, taking the very, very simple basic things like throwing further, throwing more precise, basic knowledge about creating space. Then when I've done that in the first couple of visits, then I'm putting on the more, all the tools, and I know specifically what to improve, because I'm also doing video analysis of all matches for example, in Liverpool and Ajax. So I know exactly what to improve. So sometimes I'm coaching 45 minutes or 60 minutes in a training, but other times I'm only coaching 20 minutes. So, and that's different from time to time.
So this is just again my own question, and I don't know why I'm asking this, but if suppose in a game, if opponents are man marking your players, how would you take advantage of the situation as a throw-in coach? Like, what would you do?
Oh yeah, you can say we are not. If you know the throw-in tools, if you have high throw-in intelligence, you don't care if people are man marking or they are zonal marking, or they're like putting 2 against 1 in some areas or so, because if you have high throw-in intelligence, know my tools, then you just do the movement that's appropriate for this kind of marking. And you can say if people are man marking, it's like if you can one guy can like take a run and then drag this man because he's man marking, then you are like freeing some space behind him. So that's also one of the things I'm really working with, is that. And also, if you see Liverpool's games, it's not about I have to get the ball. No, it's like we have to get the ball. So if teams are man marking, it doesn't matter, because then we're just doing some move to create space in one way. And if people are playing 2 against 1 against one of our men, or people are zonal marking, there are like things you can do no matter what happens. You can say it's a little bit. Can compare it a little bit to a chess game, like there are like millions of options, and the smarter you are, the easier you can like give yourself good options, and that's what I'm coaching the players in. So it's really important for me to say that it's not like my 40 to 50 throw-ins tools. It's not like an American football playbook where we only have one choice. The players are taking intelligent throw-in choices themselves, but they can only do that because they've been coached in in how it works and how the different choices they have in training with all different drills. So yeah, but that's one of the things you can do if it's man marking. Let people make some runs and create some free space by tracking the opponent, so other players can take use of this free space. Yeah.
So since throw-ins are now getting noticed, but not as much as free kicks or corner kicks still, what do you think needs to improve so that it gets the same reputation, like maybe other forms of set piece? Like you take throw-ins as a set piece, like the same seriousness.
I think that we are almost coming there right now, because I think I'm getting so much support from coaches, managers, analysis people, football interested people, fans, and so. And we have to remember now that if it was 30 years ago, fans were only reading the newspaper, perhaps listening to the radio, like here, or perhaps seeing one match Saturday, and that's it. That was the knowledge. Of course, people were still passionate at that time, but right now we can give so much knowledge about football, both in the radio, like here, but also in magazines. We can go to the internet, on Twitter. We can just make a click, and then we have like a total analysis of something in football. For example, like a 4-3-3. How do we break that down, or something like that? So the fans they have a lot of knowledge now, and I can feel that people are really like, first of all, listening to my throwing coaching and my principles, and they are curious, and I have people every day who says, oh, we want to buy your book when it comes out so we can get more clever and so on the throw-ins, and that's fantastic. But it also mean all this knowledge that people are also like taking some questions out, and they're like saying, okay, in football we are used to just doing the set pieces Friday, the day before the match, and we always do like 30 minutes with corner kicks and free kicks, and that's it what we do. So people are also like, because I'm saying no, throw-ins, it should not be Friday before the match you just are doing throw-ins. With my throw-in philosophy, the long, fast, and clever throw-ins, we are like doing it like the whole week. Of course, for me, it's often like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday or so. So in some clubs, it can be like 2 training days or 3 training days, but it's like implemented in the normal training. So it's also a new way of thinking these set pieces. So people, I think they are really, really open-minded, and people can also see that if there are more throw-ins on the pitch than free kicks and corner kicks together. So it's like really a massive set piece. It's been totally underrated. So I think it's just a part of not right now, but earlier, the football culture has been a really conservative. It's really like we did yesterday, but especially the last 2 or 3 years, it's really improved. And now people can see that, okay, you are stupid if you're not working with your throw-ins, because it's 40 to 60 throw-ins in a match. When I'm getting the throw-in films or videos from Liverpool FC, when I have to analyze them, I'm getting the attacking and defending throw-ins. The files I'm getting, it's just the situation just before we get the throw-in, just like a few seconds before, and then it's the following playing situation who's totally affected by the things you're doing at the throw-in. And normally these files are like between 7.5 and 10 minutes each, so 15 to 20 minutes. So think that throw-ins are influencing on 15 to 20 minutes of the football game. So it's like a massive part of football. So and right now people are realizing that, both with the numbers but also with the used time. So I just think we are going to. It's almost like a throw-in revolution who comes now to football, and of course at the moment it's only like the clubs I'm coaching who really can benefit from my knowledge there. But when I'm publishing my book in 1 year, or when it will be, then it'll be all the amateur and youth coaches also know this knowledge, and then then people will, instead of thinking, oh, it's only a throw-in, then they'll think, hey, fantastic throw-in move. That was like when you're seeing basketball, you're often also in basketball saying, okay, they made this block or they made this move, fantastic. They created free space so we could like had a 3-point attempt. We're going to see the same in football in the future. So instead of football is just a thing that should be like made and then go on, then you'll also, perhaps not every time, but many times you'll see throw-ins as a highlight, like a fantastic tackle or with a fantastic long pass or with a fantastic 1-2 pass or so. You'll see throw-ins at the same in the future.
So you have achieved quite a lot already in your career as a throw-in coach, and the position you are bound to get a lot of criticism. But you also have received a lot of non-constructive criticism from a lot of former professional players. Like one person I would like to mention, and I was following him because he is a Liverpool player, Stevie Nicol. So he has said that he does not rate your what you bring on the table. Like, do you feel sad because you are being so highly rated by the present players and coaches, but like the former players do not rate you as that much?
No, it doesn't matter. It's if you ask me, it's actually good for me, because if I'm going, for example, to my YouTube channel, I have analytics there, or to my homepage. If a guy like Steve Nichols says something like that, you can see the views on my YouTube channel, for example, it just goes up. So it's really like good commercial for me. And why is it good for me? Yeah, I'll say first of all, a guy like Steve Nichols or Andy Gray, who also did it earlier, it's really clear for me to see that they have no knowledge around throw-ins, and it's also clear for me to see that they're like stuck in the football world like 30 or 40 years ago, where we were drinking like 10 pints the night before we had to play, and where we didn't do any specific. Of course they had passion at that time, but there are not all, but there are some old players who haven't really been following the modern football. And for me, it's okay. I think the fans and social media have answered for me, because a lot of people are calling them like outdated dinosaurs or something. I don't have the need to call them that. So, but it doesn't bother me at all. I'll say it, and I think this is really important in the world, because we have to do a lot of positive things. We have to do. We have to be open-minded, we have to smile, we have to celebrate everything, and that's good. We have to do that as much as we can, but it's also important for me to say that criticism is one of the most important things in society, because if we don't criticize each other, we don't develop. But it's also just important for me to say that when I get criticism, I want to slice it apart. If I get some criticism where either people don't know anything about what they're talking about, have no knowledge, then I don't care about it. It was clear for me to see that Steve Nichols had no knowledge about it, even though he's made a lot of throw-ins himself. He haven't thought about it. He was one of the guys who just threw the ball and nothing else. So when it comes, if it's that kind of criticism, I don't care about it. I don't take it personally. Also, if it's like unconstructive criticism, like people are just making fun of me because they think it's crazy or they don't understand, I don't care at all, because if it's unconstructive, I can't use it. So I don't care. But I'll say, if there's it's okay that people don't know anything about it if they criticize me. But if I can feel that they are curious, they want to know more, hey, what is it? Can you tell me more? Then it's good criticism for me, because then I try to enlighten people and tell something about my knowledge, and that's really good criticism. So it's okay that you don't know anything, but if you're just curious. And then there are other kinds of criticism where you can say there are some kind of criticism that makes me a better, not only person, but also a throwing coach. Often when I'm training, there are, for example, a manager or a coach who are saying, can't we like put 2 small goals in this exercise, then it's more like entertaining, motivating for the players? And perhaps I haven't thought about it. Then I'm perhaps saying, yes, let's do that. And sometimes perhaps there's a player. I remember one training in Liverpool where there was a player who said, instead of just doing the exercise straight into the pitch, can't we do it with like 45 degrees instead? And then I said, oh, let me think about it. And then I thought about like 5 seconds and okay, let's do that. I can see that's more match relevant. And then I like changed the exercise. So that's also for me fantastic kind of criticism. So back again to your question with Steve Nicol. I don't care at all that he criticized me because it was not constructive and he didn't know anything about it. But it's just he's just a fantastic commercial for me because he really proves that that my throwing coaching is a good thing by saying stupid things himself. So yeah.
Maybe you can send him a book after your book is launched.
Yeah, that was actually a good idea. Yeah, that could be that could be pretty fun. So perhaps I'll take that suggestion. So thank you.
So I had one more thing. Like you said, you work for many teams. Like you work for Liverpool, you're working for Ajax, you work for Atlanta United. So although you don't play Atlanta United, Liverpool don't play. Suppose Liverpool play against a team you are coaching in Europe. So won't it be a little bit awkward for you, like when you are working for both the teams?
Yeah, you're totally right. It can happen, and I'm also saying like I can if I want to, unless I have signed a contract who says I can. But if I just have a normal contract, I can coach 2 teams from the same league too. I only say that I won't coach 2 teams who are like competing in the same end of the table, and so I'll never like coach Liverpool and Manchester City in the same season. At least not right now where they're lying. But and I won't coach historical rivals. Like I'll never coach Liverpool and Manchester United in the same season because it's like there'll be so much trouble with the fans and everything. But I can easily like coach a team from the top and the bottom if I want to. If I don't have a contract who says I don't. And then again, let's say internationally, yeah, Liverpool and Ajax could have been playing against each other if Ajax had went through in the Champions League here this season, and Liverpool we went through, and that's just the way it is because I'm a freelancer. I'm not full time, so it was another thing is if I was full time in Liverpool, but I'm a freelancer, and yeah, that can happen. I tried it a few times in Denmark, like coaching 2 teams from the Super League. And yes, it's a little bit special. Like if they had a throw-in, I thought, oh, that was a good throw-in, and then I thought, oh, that was bad defending, so or something like that, you know. So of course that's a little bit special, but that's the way it is right now. Yeah, that's the way it is. Yeah.
So I don't know, these are just rumors, but you are being linked with the Red Bull group. Is there any truth in that?
No, it was just like the last season, so the 18-19 season. I was coaching RB Leipzig for a period, so that's right. But I'm not like linked to the Red Bull group or so. No. It's just like, you know, if it's the most important thing for me is like if the teams have the passion for throw-ins, and if they want to like get use of my long, fast, and clever throw-in philosophy, then it's really good for me. So if the teams are curious and we can get a contract, I'm like open for every team in the whole world. And perhaps I couldn't come to Nepal once. That would also be like really fantastic and exciting for me. So, and sometimes, you know, for example, with Liverpool and Ajax, I'm having like full season contracts, 6-7 visits per season and video analysis. With Gent, I have like 3-4 visits per season, Gent in Belgium. But sometimes I'm also like only like having an inspirational visit for like 2 or 3 training days, and then I'm educating the coaches and the players, and so that could also be like fantastic just to just to make a short visit to Nepal or so, because I haven't been to Nepal before, but it's like when you see it in television, it's just like fantastic with the country and with the nature, the mountains. Like it's like a dream come true for many people. So that would be a dream come true for me too. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Definitely, you can visit. So I have only 2 questions left, and sorry, 3. So my next question is: among the players you have maybe taken charge of or coached, which person or player you have improved drastically? Like any particular players?
Yeah, I'll say the 2 best players right now with the throw-ins. And now here I'm talking the long, fast and clever throw-ins. So that's throw-ins all over the pitch. I'm also including improvement of long throwing, precision, but also the ability to know when to throw fast and ability to know when to wait, but also the ability to see free spaces on the pitch. But that's perhaps the most important thing when you're throwing. And that 2 persons are Robo, like Andy Robertson from Liverpool, and then Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool, the 2 fullbacks. And you can say that Robo, Andy Robertson, he improved like really fast, like almost like after a month or so, he was really like going to world class. He just learns everything so fast. Trent is also at world class now, but he had to use like 6 months or so to get like the throwing philosophy, the tools like into the backbone and so. So right now, that's the 2 guys I'm most impressed about. Yeah, of course I'm proud of all my players, but if I had to take 1 or 2, and now I take 2, it'll be Robo and Trent, the Liverpool fullbacks.
So do you have any words for any players or coaches who are just starting out? Maybe they have seen something which, like how you saw throw in, and maybe they are being ridiculed right now in some part of the world. So do you have any words for them? Yeah,
I'll say I think one of the best things is because if you're trying to invent 50 throw-in tools yourself or then it's like too much. And where should you start? Where should you begin? But if you should begin with one thing as a coach, no matter if you're an amateur coach or youth coach, then I'll say you can start with precision. It's really important that the players are able to throw precise in the feet at like a distance between like 5-6 meters and then up to like 15-17 meters, like short or middle distance throw-ins. Because a lot of throw-ins that are lost also in professional football are where the throw-ins are coming like to the knees or to the hip or to the chest when it should be at the feet. So the first thing you have to do with your players is to make some drills, and you can find some inspiration on my YouTube channel, but make some drills where you are either throwing to cones to hit the cones, or even better, throw to players so they can like take a first touch and turn around, or like make a return pass. So that's really important. And some might think, oh, that's exercises for kids. Okay, then when I say that to the professional coaches, they are unsatisfied with the precision of the players throwing, and then I say to the coaches, are you doing that in training? Are you exercising that? No, but they are like, he's like 25, he should be able to do that. Then I'm saying, do you think he did it in the academy? No. And then I ask the academy coaches, are you doing that in the academy? No, I'm not doing that. I think they should be able to do that. Then I asked the coaches who had them as kids, and they said, did you do that? No, we don't do that. So the funny thing is that when you're looking at a professional player in Champions League, for example, or Premier League, you expect them to be good at throwing position. But of course, they can't be good if they haven't done it. So back again, we have to start somewhere. So it doesn't matter if you're playing or coaching like U10 players or U16 or you're amateur coach. Start with the throw-in precision. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that I know that of course I can't reveal my throw-in tools, but it's just really important that the players are moving to create space, because often also in pro football the players are standing still at a throw-in, or they are like moving 1, 2 or 3 meters. But if you're only moving 1, 2 or 3 meters, you're not creating space both for yourself, but especially for your teammates. And then it's like everything is closed down. And then when you take the throw-in, it's just a duel, and then it's a duel, and then it's a duel. So it's like, and then there's a big risk of losing the ball. So that's my two pieces of advice: is to work on the precision of the players with a normal throw, and then try to create space with the players. As my best advice is to, like, again, go into thomasgrønnemark.com and wait for my book. You can sign up there. Also look at my YouTube channel. I have also a precision exercise, but also like knowledge about the long, fast, and clever throw-in, and so that's my best advice if you haven't worked with the throw-ins before, and most coaches haven't done that. So yeah.
So your YouTube channel is Thomas Grønnemark itself, the name.
Yeah, you just search Thomas Grønnemark, then it will come up. Yeah, I think it's called like Thomas Grønnemark, the throwing coach, or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I'm publishing. Yeah, I think I have like 90 videos in there or something like that. So and I'm publishing pretty often, and yeah. So, and I'll be publishing even more in the future now. So yeah, just take a look there.
So on that note, I'll ask you a final question. This is a very, very controversial question, much more controversial than the Stevie Nicol one. So you need to choose one. Whom do you like, Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo?
Oh, I haven't. I haven't really got any favorite there. I think they're fantastic players. They're fantastic players, both of them. Like both they have different playing styles. I know that Messi is more like a dribbler. Ronaldo is more like physical, but they're both like scoring a lot of goals. But instead, I have to. I'll say another one, and that's a Danish guy. I don't know if any one of you out there can remember him, but we had a guy called Michael Laudrup. He played for both Barcelona and Real Madrid.
Coach.
Yeah, and he's like...
He won the League Cup with Swansea.
Yeah, so, but as a player, he was just like, the technique he had, the playing understanding. For me, when he was playing, it was like art. It was like it was so beautiful. So if I have to pick between Ronaldo and Messi, then I'll pick Michael Laudrup.
So you very nicely dodged the bullet there. So we can go on and on talking with you, Mr. Thomas Grønnemark, but now I think that is the end for today, because I took a lot of time from you. So thank you so much for talking to us, and we wish you all the best for your future campaigns and for your book, and hope your book goes very well, and also your career, and we wish you win all the trophies, maybe treble with Liverpool, and hope we can talk again soon. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.